Good evening, Raskin Jewers. How you doing, right? 'Cause it's time for the Abnormal Barders. Tonight we have 6 interesting skins to chase after, 2 backpacks, a sap, an armoured door, a sleeping bag, and an armoured double door. All the other skins, they are regular skins. They only become marketable when the roster rotates. So if you're sitting there and confused with what I just said, abnormal, regular, what's this guy on about? I'll quickly explain. Please consider looking in the description right now. You'll see 2 videos are provided. A short video, which is about 60 seconds long, but will briefly go over all the details. In short, abnormal skins are in every single rush store, and they become marketable before the rush store even rotates. So, knowing that and knowing exactly when they're going to become marketable, we can sit here right now, figure out prices for all of the skins, and when the time is ready, we can race to put our barders down, and hopefully we pick up all of these skins for a much cheaper price in the future and sell them for some sweet, delicious profit. And all the regular skins, such as the Blackout Burlap right here, they only become marketable when the rush store rotates tomorrow. Sounds good? Now, if that's not enough for you, if you're still confused, consider watching the second video listed below. It's 20 minutes long, but it goes a lot more in depth. It will explain everything there is to know in regards to abnormal skins and regular skins. It will help you out a lot. Right then, so let's get started then. The Blackout Burlap has sold over 50,000 subscribers. The No Mercy backpack has done the same. It is absolutely ridiculous, and it is also very concerning, alright? I'm fully well aware of this. In fact, I looked at the skins on Saturday. Remember, I do my 48-hour analysis, and I was like, guys, that Burlap, that No Mercy backpack, that's going over 50,000 subscribers. And yes, it did. And then, of course, the other backpack, we have the Hardsuit one right here. I was expecting that to do 30,000. It's getting there, but it looks like it might fall just short. Anyway, let's talk about both these backpacks, and then we'll go through the rest of the abnormals. And then, of course, we'll talk about the regular skins afterwards, because, yes, there are concerning things. So, when these first appeared, I was happy to see it, but I instantly knew there was going to be problems. So much so that I recorded this very special video right here. I'm sure you've seen it by now, but in short, please understand this. These are the first ever marketable backpack skins to be introduced to the game. There will be more backpacks, and I can show you some in a minute. But please understand this. Everybody's like super hyped up for them right now. A lot of them have clearly sold, as you can see. But just remember this. If there are going to be more backpacks being introduced as time goes on, these are going to get less interest, and they're going to lose value because of it. So, yeah, maybe over the course of the next 2 months, when there's a lot of people playing, and yes, there are, November this past month has been absolutely ridiculous. I do believe it's not going to probably go down in price hard until maybe February, March, April time, when we go through the Easter dip, when there's less people playing around that period of time. I am not 100% sure how to approach these skins. I will very likely just approach them very cautiously. And I'm sure you can understand that. But I am remembering previous instances where we had, the first ever skins for certain skins. Well, what was the most recent items to become skinnable before the backpacks? L96s and road sign gloves. So here's a very interesting, convenient thing to see. The first ever L96 skin to be introduced just so happened to be No Mercy. It did over 50,000 subscribers. It sold at $3.49. It's now selling at half the price. So what happened? Well, more and more L96 skins appeared, and that just, wasn't so special anymore, was it? Also, L96 is how often do you even use it and how often do you skin it? You get the idea. All right, cool. Then you take a look at the road sign gloves, and it's pretty much the same thing. So road sign gloves, the No Mercy ones, weren't the first ever ones to be introduced, but they were still like the second ones. You'll see this in a second. And as you can see, the first few sold quite a lot, and now they're struggling. And then you look at some of the more recent ones, and it's not so bad for all the other ones, isn't it? So that right there, the No Mercy roadside gloves, over 35,000 subscribers. Compare that with the No Mercy clothing and armour that we have. That's about 10,000 subscribers. That's about 17,000 subscribers, and that's about 20,000 subscribers. Those pair of gloves sold far too much. So there was a problem there, and in general, it just sold a little bit too much. It was special when it came out, but then more appeared, and then also more white roadside gloves appeared, and then understandably that also struggled. So now I look at this backpack, over 50,000 subscribers. So many more of these compared to all that clothing and armour. Oh, yes, indeed, that's looking a little bit concerning. But as I said, I get the feeling this isn't going to struggle potentially for the next 2 months, but then it will inevitably will, because there will be more skins by then, and it will slowly start to lose interest, and it will slowly start to struggle. Same thing can be said about the Hardsuit backpack, but unfortunately, I know the Hardsuit backpack is likely going to struggle faster and probably a lot worse. Hardsuit collection, not exactly the most in-demand collection, as you can see. Not very comparable to the No Mercy collection, for example. But I don't know if everyone's going to go super crazy for a metallic backpack. I'm sure there are still going to be some people. There's a lot of metallic sets out there, Heavy Knight, Damascus and whatnot. Cool. But No Mercy, I made a video showcasing this. It can be pretty good white snow camouflage and whatnot. So, okay, cool. $3, $2, what prices are we going to likely offer for these? I think I want to play it safe. Now, I've said it already. I'm concerned for these skins in the future. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to go like $1 to $1.50 for the No Mercy backpack. I know. I just don't have a ton of confidence with it. And then for the Hardsuit backpack, I think I'm going to probably do 70 cents to $1. Now, listen, guys, if you feel confident with it, if you think, you know what, I understand what Hedge is saying, but I think he's a little bit too concerned. I feel like I could probably pick these up for a decent price and make some good profit over the course of the next 2 months. You're more than welcome to do so. I'm not going to judge you if you want to do that. But I'm looking at these skins more in the long term, and I can't help but imagine they're likely to get pretty cheap. So I'm going to go with $1 to $1.50, and I'm going to go with 70 cents to $1. We'll see how often people even want to skin their backpacks, and we'll see if we get small backpacks becoming skinnable. That might change things up a little bit, but you understand me, I'm sure. These have sold a little bit too much, and now let me just quickly inform all of you, with the recent TGG's top picks list, there's a lovely batch of backpacks right there, and if I could just scroll down a little bit more, you might notice that we had the Flashbacks backpack, the Arctic Protection backpack, the large hazmat backpack. Oh look, we got a frog backpack. I mean, come on now, look at him, he's so cute. There will be more backpacks. There will be more interesting, cute, and unique designs for backpacks. You understand, it's an inevitability. And also, the most recent skins that are submitted, my Rust Workshop skin checks video, I'm sure you've seen it, right? There are some interesting skins being submitted, such as like a desert camouflage one, pirate collection one, and a reptile hunter one. So get a good look at that. And then, of course, get a good look at the pirate one. Very nice. And then we have the reptile hunter one, which I'm sure a lot of people greatly appreciate. There will be more, all right? There will be more. And those No Mercy backpacks and Hardsuit backpacks, do not be surprised if people are like, you know what, I'd rather get some of the new ones. I'm going to go dump this on the Steam market, quickly get some money so I could go buy the new ones. And if there's far too many people trying to make a quick sale compared to actually buying a skin, down. The warning has been put out, and I foresaw this, and that's why I uploaded that video a good few days ago. Do you respect that, chat? Alright, if they drop a more white backpack, it's doomed. Oh, whiteout is an inevitability. What about a Thundergold one? We shall see. Alright, so I've said more than enough. Let's now move on and talk about Thundergold SAP. So when I looked at this on Saturday, I was looking at the progression of it, and I thought, you know what, maybe that's going to do 16 to 18,000 subscribers. Let's just quickly verify that. So as I go back over to here, I looked at the Thundergold SAP, and I said 16 to 18, yeah. It has sold less, which isn't a bad thing for us. That is currently sitting there at 15,000 subscribers. By tomorrow, it'll probably get close to 16,000 subscribers. Let me tell you this. I'm looking at that with some pretty strong positivity. So I've already done this comparison. I'm sure you've seen the short video where I compared this with the No Mercy SAP, because out of all the SAPs that we have here, that's white and gold, and then that's white and black. We don't really have white SAPs. You can clearly see that, I'm sure. So we've got two white SAPs. That one's selling for $2.85, and this one's selling at $2.49. I can't help but assume Thundergold SAP's going to have a pretty fun time ahead of it. Now, at the very least, please take this into consideration. SAP skins tend to be very reliable for retaining their value, but they don't really go up in price that much. So if you just kind of want to put some money away, some Steam wallet away, understandably, you'll probably look at this SAP and think, you know what, I feel confident enough that that will reliably retain its value, do quite nicely, and go up in price when times are good. So as we get closer and closer to January time, do not be surprised if you see all of these SAPs here probably up by 10 to 30%. And that's it, really. I'm looking at this. I'm feeling confident. But I'm not expecting tons and tons and tons of profit. I will sit here and say this. For a buy order, I'm probably doing like $1.70 to $2.20. I can see it dipping down in price quite slightly as time goes on. How low will it go? Probably at worst like down by 10%. So basically down to $2.20. But I just can't help to assume it's going to enjoy itself and go up ever so nicely. Now also consider this. I am well aware of this. Whiteout skins, always usually on the front page, and it keeps going up and up and up and up in price. As you know, things like that keep continuing, people are going to have to look for other options. They're going to look at the comics collection. They're going to look at Thundergold collection. Take a look at the Thundergold armor right now, and you might notice that it's doing pretty good right now. Oh, are you telling me that the whiteout kilt is now boosting all the way up to its new all-time high price? Well, I'm going to have to look for another option. Oh, look, it's right there. There you go. Thundergold with its ever so nice gold trim and white design, pearlescent white. Well, obviously people are looking for alternative options, and Thundergold is being appreciated. If the armor keeps getting bought out, don't you think the weapons will follow suit? Look at the AK, look at the SAR. How often do you see an AK and a SAR in the positive? So that's SAP. Keep an eye on it. I feel confident with it. $1.70 to $2.20. Cool. Let's move on. Tempered armored door. I'm concerned. I am concerned. Right, what's wrong, Hedge? Well, armoured doors. Take a look at all the ones that came out over the past 3 years, and you might notice a bit of a funny thing. What's that? Only one of them's in the positive. Oh. Down 57, down 57, down 59, down 69, down 17, down 32, down. Oh, actually, that one's improved a little bit. Are you getting manipulated? Let me just quickly double check. You've been bought out. Yeah, that looks like a bit of a buyout. I am thinking that might be an interesting thing to keep an eye out for. But, that one's an anomaly. So, yeah, only one skin in the positive out of all the skins except the anomaly. That's concerning. Now, I will also question this. How often are you even using an armoured door? How often are you skinning an armoured door? There you go. That's a problem. So, okay, but it's a tempered skin, Hedge. Aren't the deplorables super reliable? Yeah, they are, but I'm not sure if that's going to follow suit. So these obviously went down in price. The small box, the large box, at worst, I think they're down by like 20 to 25% down. Now, obviously, they're improving. You can see the doors here are doing quite nice. But that right there, I don't think it's going to have a fun time. I will not be surprised if it probably goes all the way down to about $1.50. So that's why I'm going to look at this and say 80 cents to $1.20. That's how I'm going to approach it. I will not be surprised in the slightest if that goes down pretty bad. I'm very sorry to say, but I'm looking at all the behaviour with all the other skins. I know Tempered is a very nice and extensive collection, one of the largest collections in this game, but I am not feeling super confident with that. If we saw like a wooden double door, oh yeah, I'd be all over that. I would, but not that, I'm afraid. Sorry to say. I feel like I've gave you a very nice straightforward answer. Now let's move on and talk about the Glacial Visage sleeping bag. Now, of course, this is no good for any sort of environment and whatnot, but that stands out and looks ever so nice. I've seen this in game. It looks very pretty. It's wintertime now. Don't you want to get nice and cozy in your very freezing cold sleeping bag? So, yeah, cool. It stands out very nice. Should be good for indoors, If you haven't got all your light sources figured out in your base, that'll stand out ever so perfectly at night time if you want to navigate around. Now, obviously, it's part of a notable collection, the Glacial Visage collection. We don't know if we're going to be seeing any more of these skins being submitted anytime soon, or resubmitted at the very least. So, Glacial Visage, as you can see, large box is doing all right. And now this is here. Now, here's another thing I should point out. That's currently sitting here at 12,800 subscribers. Take a look at all the sleeping bags that came out this year, and what do you see? Well, some interesting stories that can be said. Both of these came out at the same time. That didn't sell that much. Rose up in price very nicely, doubled in price. That right there sold a little bit more, double the amount of this, as you can see. It's now evens. That's fine. It's a very goofy design. That's green, but it glows in the dark, so counterintuitive. Didn't really work out very well. Twitch drop. That's bread. Ultramarine skin, so clearly that's doing well. And that's a holiday theme skin, so that's down in price. I can look at all of these skins and give you a story, and it makes sense what happened. Anyway, Glacial Visage sleeping bag. 12,800 subscribers. It's not the highest selling skin out this year, but it's also like not the lowest. It seems to be perfectly okay. Now, if I were to compare this to some notable skins from last year, Abyss sleeping bag doing ever so nice and comfy, a UAP sleeping bag doing ever so comfy, I think it's going to do all right. I actually think it's going to do pretty okay. Now, when I looked at this and I was making considerations of how much it's going to sell, I thought it was going to do between 13 to 14,000 subscribers. By tomorrow, it is definitely going to be sitting there at 13,000. So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, you know what? I could approach this with a decent barter. I think I'll do $1.50 to $2. I don't imagine it's going to drop down in price by a ton. I think it could still drop by a bit, but at $2, a bit is fine. I'll pick those up for a cheaper price. And as time progresses, if we do see some more Glacial Visage deplorables being produced again and submitted and potentially accepted, perfectly fine for that sleeping bag. Oh, yes. But if not, even then, I can still see it graciously rising up in price. The amount that's sold is not ridiculous, perfectly fine, and it should have a decent future ahead of it. Cool. Now let's talk about the Pixel Armored Double Door. Right, here's an interesting talk. The Pixel collection, not exactly the most, in-demand collection. I can agree with that. I've seen it. But this armoured double door has really not sold that much. It really hasn't sold that much. So let's talk about all the armor double doors that we have in the game. There's 14. There's 14 and that's it. Now, if we were to just look at these based on subscriber counts, you might notice that this, it's not really sold that much. It's not really sold that much. It's not the lowest amount, clearly, as you can see, but that right there, okay, what's going on? Well, as I told you, it's not very in demand. But as you can see, all these armor double doors have done a very good job of retaining their value and going up in the positive. You can clearly see that right there in front of you, can't you? So what gives? What's going to happen? It doesn't glow in the dark, which I can verify. Pixel Collection isn't exactly in demand, but it's an armored double door skin. Is it just going to stay perfectly equal, evens? Is it just going to go up in price regardless because it's an armored double door? Probably, but then there's also the concern of, look at how many armored double doors we had introduced this year compared to previous years. You might notice that there's quite a lot. And if I bring up sheet metal double doors this year, yeah, that's really stupid. The amount of sheet metal double doors we saw being introduced this year is ridiculous compared to all the previous years. We've got like 20 so far this year, and like last year we got like 5. And then before that we got like 6. So if it ends up with a situation where we suddenly see tons of armor double doors, yeah, that right there will likely struggle and suffer. But if it's just still going to be like 2 or 3 every year, that should do perfectly fine, probably. Like, if this was the summertime, I probably would have bought a bunch of them just because it was an armor double door. Now, I obviously did that with the toxic armor double door, and hey, how's that currently holding up? So as we look over to here, look to the right, how's the price? The answer is, it's currently up by 14%, which is fine. I'm not upset with that. So, okay, well, I think I'm going to look at that, and I'm probably going to do $1. I think $1.50 to $2. Yes, I know it's not the most in-demand skin, but with the sheer lack of sales, I'm curious. I think I could pick up a decent amount of them with a $2 barter. I just don't know if it's going to like suddenly become a lot more common to see armored double doors. So that obviously will be a factor, but I still feel reasonably confident in that it will retain a decent amount of the value. So how you want to approach that, chat, it's up to you. But I feel like the words I've said are probably reasonable to consider. Right then, so that was all the abnormal skins. Now we have to talk about the regular skins, the skins that become marketable tomorrow. Blackout. Okay, so this is going to be a bit of a fun one. Now, if I could just quickly refresh, I need to remind you of a certain skin that was accepted for Complete the Sets May 18 last year. So, as you can see, both of these have now done over 54,000 subscribers. By tomorrow, it'll probably be 55,000. But if we could just go back to the past ever so nice and quickly, we had a Complete the Sets in May last year. And as you can see, a certain whiteout pair of boots were accepted. They did over 64,000 subscribers. Now, clearly, we're not at the same amount, but it's still ridiculous sales regardless. Subscriber counts are the bare minimum sales. I can confirm to you right now that at least 54,275 individual people have bought that blackout burlap shirt. All right? I don't know how many each everybody bought, but I know at least that's the amount of people that bought it. I believe the vast majority of people bought a pair of these clothing skins for themselves to enjoy. I respect that, but I can't help but assume a lot of people bought tons of these with the pure intent to sell. I'm talking about buying 50 or 100 or even 1,000. Do not be surprised by that. There'll be a lot of people thinking, oh, I could do a nice quick flip profit. If there's a lot of people doing that, they're all going to be competing with each other to make a sale. And that's pretty much what happened to the whiteout boots. So let's just quickly see how this behaved for the first few months of its existence. It crashed and burned. It crashed and burned. Sold at 99 cents, exactly like the blackout burlap. And what happened was, there were so many of these listed on the Steam market, it went over like 3,000, 4,000 at one point. It went from 99 cents all the way down to about barely 40 cents. Yes, that's how bad it got. Now, over the course of 18 months, it progressed, improved, and eventually went back up to a price of $1.55. That's nice. Do you want to wait 18 months to finally see the blackout skins go up in price? Now, because it has sold 10,000 less so far, okay, maybe it's not going to be as bad, but I still believe it's going to probably drop off. And it might not happen for a while. Much like what I said with the backpacks, I can't help but assume with so many people playing the game at the moment, over the course of the next 2 months, you're probably not going to see these drop off by that much or really see them go up in price that much. I'm concerned. I think you're going to see probably around February, March, April time. That's when you're going to see these drop in value. And I don't know how low it'll go, but I'm concerned. So how do I say this? I'm probably going to want to do between 50 to 60 cents on the blackout stuff. Now, if you want to buy a pair for yourself, by all means, go buy a pair for yourself. If you want it, you go treat yourself. Go buy the skin. Keep those skin creators nice and motivated. Want to keep it nice creator designs in the future. But that blackout burlap, oh, I can't help but assume it's going to emulate the whiteout boot behavior. But as I said, maybe not as bad, but you'd still imagine there's going to be a lot of these on not only the Steam market, but third-party sites. Absolutely flooding. And, of course, when there's far too many people trying to make a quick sale, they will undercut and undercut and undercut and undercut, and the price just goes down. So, yeah, it's not too hard to comprehend, I'm sure. You bought 400 of them. Oh, buddy. Time to refund them. If you can, I'll give it a shot. So, yeah. Listen, the demand for this might be absolutely ridiculous and keep the price up, and maybe it goes up in price nice and high. I don't think it's going to go up in price nice and high. I don't think it's going to go up nice and high. Like, I'm well aware of what happened to the blackout poncho. I'm well aware. Right now, that blackout poncho is currently selling at $4.60. So if you manage to sell some, congratulations to you. But will we see blackout, like, burlap shoes or hide clothing? Will we get a bandana, a boonie hat? Will that happen? If it happens, that will go up in price quite nicely for sure. Yes, we'll see a spike in demand. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. We still need to see a whiteout backpack. Yes, the guy that makes blackout also makes whiteout, so take that into consideration. So anyway, 50 cents to 60 cents is probably what I'm going to do, all right? If you're not offering more, you're more than welcome to do so. But if you end up buying a whole bunch of them, have fun selling them. Maybe you just want to wait 18 months. Anyway, cool. Let's move on. Let's talk about the Toy Thompson. I think this is actually going to work out quite nicely. I think this is a perfectly fine, cool looking design. Stands out, very unique, awesome. Lovely work from Mr. Little Ranger. So here's an interesting little tidbit. Thompsons, they don't really go down in price that badly. I know with many weapons and tool skins, when things get really bad, they go down to less than $1. I don't see any Thompsons selling for less than $1. As you can see right here, the cheapest one is currently $1.20. Yep. That's fine. That's cool. Now, look at all these cheaper Thompsons. Do you see these super bright and colourful? I mean, some of them are. I will agree to that. But the Toy Thompson, I think, stands out well enough that it's actually going to probably do a decent job of retaining its value. Now, if I could just quickly remind myself, what was my estimate for the Toy Thompson? It was 13 to 14,000 subscribers. You're currently sitting there with 12,700. You have probably... Yeah, you're going to probably end up around that. Okay, cool. Toy Thompson... I think what I'll probably do is $1 to... I think I'll do $1 to $1.50. I'm pretty sure I could pick up a decent amount of these for a cheaper price. Would I be able to keep flipping them for a profit? I think it'll be all right. It doesn't feel like it's a ridiculous amount. So, yes, with that, I feel like you should be right. If you're concerned, just offer less. You get the idea. All right, anyway. Berserker boots. I looked at these and I wondered, okay, how much are these going to sell? Because, of course, the Berserker collection, as you can see, it started off with Tier 3, hoodie and pants, and Tier 2, 19,000 subscribers, 12,000 subscribers, and about 10 to 11,000 subscribers. So you shouldn't be surprised to see that struggling right now because it sold more compared to the rest. Now, when the roadside gloves were accepted back in late 2022, you can see that these only did about 9,700 subscribers. It's basically easily doubled in price. Now we look at the boots, 9,777 subscribers. It's very similar to that. What do you reckon's going to happen to that? Now, here's a little bit of a concern. There's nothing else that could be added to the Berserker collection. That'll be clothing and armour that'll give this batch of skins a boost. But I did show this off. I am well aware that people do happen to like this collection. I'm fairly well aware of it. So as long as it maintains interest, those pair of boots should graciously, maybe not immediately, but slowly rise up in price. If the collection is in demand, if people like to dress up in this armour, those pair of boots will have a fun future ahead of them. I'm looking at the boots, and I'm thinking I'm going to do 70 cents to 80 cents. I think you could probably buy some. Maybe not a ton, but you could buy a decent amount of them and just see how things play out. Just hold on to them, wait and see. But I could see them working out quite nicely. Now, it's not going to be a ridiculous profit, but I could see it working out nicely. It seems to have matched up perfectly with the gloves. Again, we still have a good, maybe another 20 hours to go, and that might get a few more sales. But even then, should be right. So, okay, cool. And then we've got the tools, 60 cents to 80 cents. Nobody cares about hatchet skins. Nobody cares about pickaxe skins. I know. I'm very sorry to be very quick to it, but take a look at that. All of these are down to $1. All of those are down to $1. That's get manipulated. They've got the pickaxe over here. And what do we see? All of these are down to $1 except that one. That one's suspicious. I'm keeping an eye on that. And then all of these are basically down to $1 as well. So, yeah. 60 cents to 80 cents. If it gets real bad, just turn it into metal and sell the metal. Right then, so that was quite a lot of yapping, and I hope I did it nice and quickly. But with all my concerns, I hope it's understandable, right? They have sold a lot. Will we see complete the sets week 2 tomorrow? Nothing was officially confirmed, but I also wouldn't be surprised. So at the very least, with tomorrow's Rush Store, if we see like a standard Rush Store but a few extra late picks with skins that were submitted months ago, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, there's a very special day tomorrow, and I can't help but assume that that's probably going to get accepted tomorrow. Last year, the only person to produce a Thanksgiving skin was Mr. Zinc. That got accepted. So as we look over to here, you might remember the Thanksgiving turkey furnace. This year, yet again, he's the only person who's produced a Thanksgiving skin. This is also going to be a collection continuation. So yes, if we do have complete the sets tomorrow, it counts. It counts. I know, I'm well aware that there is already a turkey rock, but this one's nice and cooked. So wouldn't be surprised regardless. All right. So we can look at the recent top picks list from Mr. TGG. As you can see right here, a lovely batch of skins that are submitted last week. Notably, you can see right there, Ultramarine Tier 2. You also have the white holographic roadside gloves there, Blackout backpack. You've also got Ninja backpack. You've also got an interesting batch of deplorables here. Forest Raiders, perhaps. I wouldn't be surprised if that gets accepted. Come on, Face Punch, it'll be allowed, we'll accept it. So, just to get this point across, we could have a lot of acceptances of collections, and it would be recent submissions, and it still technically could be seen as complete the sets. I've just mentioned, like Blackout, Forest Raiders, what else we got here? There's a Nuke Room locker right there, there's a greening area ruck right there, there's loads of interesting collection continuations. Chalk Menace with a wooden double door. I think people would appreciate that, that looks cool. Rock, paper, scissors, go. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Are these cat girls, are they devil girls? I do not know. Chat, YouTube, I need you to tell me. I have no idea. Are they devilish or are they kittens? I don't know. Right, anyway. Plenty of interesting skins. That would be a very cool Twitch drop. I know we're going to get Twitch drop soon. I'm fully well aware of it. But what are going to be the generic drops? I don't know. Okay, so complete the sets or not, we shall see, chat. Out of all the collections that didn't get a skin accepted with the current Rush Store, what would you like to see being accepted? You tell me. In fact, in my server, we still have the rotation bingo. So if I could just bring this over to here, to ask people, you got to do both. You got to do one for complete the sets, and well, there's Shadowborn lock would be cool. Redemption Pump Shotgun, Overheat Tier 3, I remember that, Fish Tier 3, that's cool, Thundergold, Hoodie and Pants. We need the cards box, we quite literally need the cards box. Oh, I'm going to go on the run again, right, so let's go over to here and let me point out the cards box. Earlier this year we got a lovely batch of, neon small storages, but let me just quickly get this point across. When all the neon large boxes were introduced, we went all the way from 1 to 18, and every single box has a number on it, 16 there, 19 here. So if we went 1 to 18 with the large boxes, what was number 19? Was the cards box, and it's a small box. But didn't we get a batch of small boxes accepted earlier this year? Yes. And it started from number 20, the fuel storage. So this right here would quite literally finish the collection as number 19. We've skipped a number, Face Punch. You've got to accept it. You have to do complete the sets week 2 tomorrow. I don't hear any excuses. But you get the idea. That would be a perfect example of properly completing a set. And I know a lot of people want the cards box, and I would be surprised if it sold a lot. Would it sell as much as this? Probably. So, all right, interesting things to look forward to, and of course, interesting things being mentioned on the commits. So, just to quickly showcase this to you, that's a nice thing to be aware of. A minor buff to the rad pills. But if we could just quickly navigate over to here, what's that? Night Armor DLC. What? Night Armor DLC? Well, what's that going to consist of? So here's an interesting little thing that I just want to point out to you. We got a lot of night-themed like armor and clothing pieces. We got like Knight's Templar, we got the Templar face mask. You got Apocalyptic Knight. You've got Heavy Knight. Lots of interesting night-themed clothing and armor skins have been submitted over the past few years. Keep an eye on them, because with this proposed DLC, is it just going to be Tier 3 armor, or is it going to be Tier 2 armor? There's going to be pieces missing that's going to need to like fill it up. So you might recall, if we could quickly go over to, let me just go do this, Rush Store, General Rush Store. You may recall we have the Ice King set. It comes with tier 3 armor. It doesn't have a kilt. This came out late 2022, and when people were looking for something that could fill in that void, people remembered the Frosty Kilt. So Frosty Kilt was bought out and used with that tier 3 armor, and if I could just show you the very specific point where it came out, you can see it spiked in price. There you go. That's when it came out. So this was on the Steam market. It was kind of sitting around $1. Oh, look, that very special Ice King set came out with a tier 3 armor, but no kilt. Huh. Oh, look, this exists. Bought out. This went all the way up to about $4. From $1 to $4. It quadrupled in price. So the reason why I'm making such a fuss about this is because, well, you might want to look at those night skins, because if it looks cool and people want it and people need to fill in some gaps, people are going to go buy up the stock on the Steam market, aren't they, of things that could fill in the gaps. If it's another tier 3 armor set, people are going to need a kilt. People are going to need gloves. People are going to need boots. And they exist. We just recently had a Heavy Night collection, didn't we? So just pointing it out. Cool. What else has been addressed? Well, high wall skins are being mentioned again. Frontier high wall and Gate Collider. Are we getting high wall skins? Well, here's another question. Is it going to be sold as a separate pack, or will it be added to the Frontier building skin and the Adobe building skin and all of that? Because as you can see, Frontier mentioned here, Adobe mentioned here. This was from months ago, but recently they've quite literally jumped back onto this again. Is that going to be ready for December, January? We shall see. But are we going to have to pay for it separately? And then we have a car radio currently being worked on, quite literally an asset that's going to be put in the cars, and you're going to be able to listen to music as you're driving around. Oh, what fun it will be. So, cool. Right then, that was a lot of words. Now we can skip ahead and do the actual boulders. And so with that, well then, here we are. How high will these backpacks go up to initially? How many boulders are they going to have by the end of the night? I have no idea. We're about to find out. Okay then, people, let's go get this all figured out. I've got my prices to my side. It's now 1 o'clock in the morning, and there we go. It's already got 1,000 boulders. Well, there you are. That was quick. Yes, indeed it was. And now we've got the Thundergold SAP, and I am going pretty strong on you. All right, then. Let's go put down a good boulder on you. And let's go over to here. Hardsuit Backpack. How you doing, good sir? Yeah, we're playing a little bit safer with you, aren't we? And then over to here, we have the Pixel Armored Double Door, we have the Glacial Visage Sleeping Bag, and we have the Tempered Armored Door. Give it to me for a cheap price, please. Right, let's go do the second batch of boulders. Go, go, go. So, that has already got boulders going all the way up to about $1.60, which is fine. That was kind of expected. And then over to here, hello you. Now, we said we're going to go pretty good boulders, weren't we? That is like a $2 boulder right there. Pixel Armored Double Door, how are you doing? Right, I haven't done a boulder on the other side yet, so I'll go back to you. Hardsuit Backpack, how you doing? Right, your boulders are basically only going up to about $1. That is fine. That is fine. That was expected. That was expected. And let's cut one more penny, because that makes a big enough difference. I don't know why I did an extra penny. Okay, you. You know what? I feel like that's a decent enough boulders. Let's now go ahead and see how much boulder support each of the skins has. Right, it's been almost 39 minutes. Let's go ahead and take a look at all of these skins. And, well, with the No Mercy backpack currently selling in the Rust store right now at $2.99, the lowest listing already is at $2.95. Well then, that's quite alarming. And, of course, if we look at the actual boulders, you might notice that they basically stop at like $1.50. So I don't think this is going to be retaining its value, and I'm very concerned about that. Now, this is just us. This is all the people who like abnormals and whatnot. They're the only people that have done boulders at the moment. As this progresses over the course of the next 20 or so hours, more people will see that these skins are marketable. More people will put boulders down. But is it going to stay below $3? Is this kind of like ruined? As of now, I will sit here and say this. I kind of wouldn't be surprised if some of these skins are actually bought, right? These prices you see here might be cheaper in other people's currencies compared to Rust, so they'd rather buy it there, right? Let's see how it progresses. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more than just 28 listings by tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised. So if you're watching this on Thursday during your lunch break, go take a look at this backpack right now. Go see what the barter support looks like. Go see what the listings are like. And I wouldn't be surprised if it is lower. But could it recover? Well, I don't know. Will we see more backpacks being accepted tomorrow? That's the main concern. Now, if we could just quickly also look at the Hardsuit backpack, currently selling in the Rust store at $2 at the moment. Lowest listing, $3. I mean, didn't this also sell 30,000 subscribers? Yes, but I guess we're just not seeing that many listings. I would have thought we'd still see quite a bit, but no, it seems to be okay at the moment. But look at the barders, they basically end at $1. That's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. That was what we were anticipating. But yeah, are we going to start seeing a lot more backpacks? Will both of these start to lose interest? With what we're looking at right now, it definitely does not look like it's a good thing to consider buying into these. Looking at the support specifically, definitely a no. All right, so I'm happy that I did my lowball buy order. We'll see how things progress from here. And yeah, that's basically it. That's all that could be said. Now moving on to the Thundergold SAP. For a $2.49 skin, with the barders basically going all the way up to $2, this is actually looking to be like a perfectly fine thing to consider buying. As I said, a reliable skin. SAP skins tend to be perfectly fine. They tend to retain their value most of the time, most of the year. I think this is going to have a pretty good future ahead of it. Could you still do a buy order of like $2.20? Try and pick these up for 30 cents cheaper. You could do that. But if there is one skin today, out of all the abnormal skins, I think this is the one that you could consider buying. I don't expect to see any... I don't think we'll be seeing any more white SAPs for the foreseeable future. There definitely isn't a whiteout SAP, for example. I don't think we'll be seeing it anytime soon. Right now, there's a whiteout AK. That wasn't picked for complete the sets, was it? Just saying. That would have been cool, but no. So, all right. Yeah, I think it's going to be working out quite nicely. Over to here, we have the Pixel Armor Double Door. A sheer lack of sales has led to some interest. Selling at $2.49, you can see the barders go all the way up to $2. Now, I'm less confident with this one compared to the SAP, but I'm also very curious. It really didn't sell that much. So, the collection, not that in demand. It doesn't glow, but could it still work out nicely? Are we going to see like hardly any armor double doors again over the course of the next few years, or are we going to suddenly start seeing more and more? Is it going to become like the sheet metal double door? We shall see, but it's definitely in a very interesting spot. I think you could potentially consider buying some of these as well if you really wanted to. But don't be surprised if it might be a bit of a hassle trying to sell them. We'll see how this progresses. Over to here, Glacial Visage sleeping bag, $2.49 in the Rust store. Barders going all the way up to $2. Now, just to point this out, you see these $2 barders here? That's me. That's me. Then you look at how this drops off all the way down to like $1.70. I'm under the impression that these skins didn't really sell too much. I can see them working out quite nice in the future. So I've gone a little bit bold and I've gone up to $2. Now, I did kind of say that with my barter suggestion, so hey, we'll see how that progresses. But this right here, 937 requests to buy, and it basically kind of stops at around $1.50. I'm here at $2. Nobody else wanted to do that. I'll see how that turns out. And over to here, tempered armored door. It's currently selling for $3 if I can recall, $2.99. Yep. Barders pretty much ending at $1.50. That does not look like it's going to retain its value, does it? No. No. So, yeah, out of all these skins, honestly, it's probably just between the SAP and maybe the Armored Double Door. That's it, really. I can't trust that, and I can't trust that. Okay? Now, by all means, if you want to buy one for yourself, go nuts. Go show your support to the skin creators. And as of now, are you considering wanting to buy some Blackout Burlap? Again, if you're going to buy a set for yourself, that's fine. But if you're going to try and make an investment, we'll see how this progresses. Yeah, so I think I will just do it stick with doing a buy order. We'll see how that goes. I'm 150, but I went higher on the tempered door. I mean, Bellox, we'll see how it progresses. I don't know. I haven't seen Milho Frito putting out any new tempered deplorables. I don't know if he's going to be working on that right now. Christmas is just around the corner. He's had many interesting Christmas skins accepted in the past, so he's probably brewing something up right now. Maybe over the course of the Christmas time, he'll probably make some more tempered deplorables. A chair, a table, a water purifier. A locker. A locker's a very good shout. I might just go throw that over to him and say, give it a shot. It's up to him. But yeah, overall, that's it. That was a bit of a wacky complete the sets week. Are we going to have another one tomorrow? And just to reiterate, with the submissions we've seen recently, a lot of the recent submissions could be collection continuations to be like a recent complete the sets. Nuke Room Fridge, Forest Raiders Furnace, Growling Bear Furnace, part of the Wild Animal Aggression. How do I say this? The Aggressive Animal Collection. You may recall the Rat-a-tat Thompson and the Lone Wolf Ioka. We now have an Angry Bear. He looks pretty cool. Danger Zone Sleeping Bag, Tier 2 Toolbox. We've got Titanium Box. We've got Frozen Crypt Garage Door, Frontier Rustic Double Door, Oasis Double Door. We've got Revolver, the Industry Revolver, the Commander Revolver. Honestly, either one of these, if either one of these get accepted tomorrow, I'm probably buying 100 plus. Revolver's super reliable. That's a pure black red aim sight revolver right there. I know a lot of people will want it, so who knows what's going to happen, but there's definitely some interesting collection continuations that could be accepted tomorrow. That would be perfectly fine for a complete the sets. So we'll see. That's it. That's everything. There's not much else I can sit here and say. So let's find out.